Several broadheads. I've been using them for several years. You probably know that. I really like them. Number one, they're built well. Number two, they're really sharp. And number three, they cut really big holes. Now they offer 3 different ones here. And a question that I get a lot is, which one should I use? They have 1.5, 1.7, and 2.1. What that means is the cutting width of that broadhead. One thing to be aware of with these broadheads, even though it says 1.5, 1.7, or 2.1, that broadhead almost hyperextends when it hits. They call it a slap cut. When that broadhead hits and those blades slide back, they don't spring back like a normal mechanical broadhead from the years gone by. These are high-tech broadheads. That slap cut opens up that hide even bigger. So on this 2.1, I've had entry-exit wounds that are pushing 3 inches, in some cases more, depending upon the angle of the deer. So a very large cutting diameter. Which one should I use? Crossbow hunting, bow hunting. For me, it really depends on the speed of the bow or the crossbow that I'm shooting. That's a big deal. The 2.1 is going to cover you if you're shooting a lot of weight, 60, 70 pounds on a compound bow or a crossbow. It's going to create a large cutting diameter. The 1.7, obviously a little bit smaller cutting diameter. This is a little bit more stout. A lot of crossbow hunters like this because of that stoutness. The ferrule is really solid. It's really good for crossbows and high-speed compounds. The 1.5 inch. Now this one is, again, it's a smaller ferrule. It's a smaller cutting diameter. What is this good for? A lot of guys like it for long-range shooting. Some of the guys that shoot a lot of high-weight compounds, they like this for antelope hunting, for long-range deer hunting. It's also a good broadhead for low-poundage bow hunters. Check your state regulations. Some states, I know where I'm from, you can shoot as low as 30 pounds of draw weight. Some states it's 40 pounds. This broadhead is good for those lower weights because it's a smaller entry wound. There's not as much going on there when that broadhead hits. If you're shooting 30 pounds and you're trying to shoot a 2-inch cut broadhead, it's going to be slowed down dramatically when that hits the animal.
Got him! Yes! Right there. We got him. We got him.
As with anything with bow hunting, it's all about preference. Your broadhead style and especially your broadhead construction. What I would recommend, going with a highly constructed broadhead that's razor sharp and that cuts big holes. It's going to make for really efficient hunting.